is like in iCarly, like that first episode where like they do the prank thing and they're like they go viral on the internet and then they record their first web show, like Freddy's there.
No, I actually don't remember the start of iCarly. I'm not a big
Okay,
fan.
this is like that though.
You take an intro? Am
Oh,
I taking an intro?
yeah, no, don't even worry about it. This is The Well.
Okay.
We like sports and video games and pop culture. And
Yeah, we got it all.
Yeah, we were thinking that there's like a dearth of like 20-something white guys talking about like sports and video games and stuff on the internet. So we're here to fill that vacuum.
Yeah, who are you?
I'm Adam or Slom, depending on your persuasion.
Yep, I'm Nikita. I don't know if I have any nicknames. So we're doing a NFL team draft with all of the players eligible for the draft being Pokemon. All of the generations, all types of Pokemon have allowed, different types, different forms, all that. And we'll get into more of the specifics after we determine who's drafting first. But how we doing that?
Yeah, no, this shit is exhaustive. It's not like that TikTok shit where people are like they draft like 5 positions, they do the randomizer. Like this is researched. This is like we're drafting a long snapper. There's a really specific Venn diagram of who should be enjoying this video. And it's like people who are very familiar with the NFL and the Pokemon franchise. So if you're here, welcome. If you like one of those two things, you might be like kind of confused, but like it's still probably enjoyable. If you like neither, I don't know why you're here.
I think the Pokemon fans will get it. NFL fans, if they look up the images, I think they can understand a few of them. But yeah, we got like Excel sheets. We got like 50 different Pokemon lined up, peer reviewed.
That's not peer reviewed.
Yeah.
Anyway,
whatever.
So the rules. So we're each going to draft a full offense, a full defense, and some key special teamers. All Pokemon are on the table. Pokemon cannot use their moves and abilities, but their qualities are preserved. So like Snorlax will be lazy, Primeape is aggressive, Cacturne is spiky, Muck is like goop. Like they can't use like Hyper Beam. You can't be like, I'm gonna have Charizard like explode the defensive line. That's not going to be allowed. And then a few other kind of technicalities. Pokemon sizes are kind of to scale. So like Wailord is still big, but isn't like football field size. It's just big relative to the other players. And Flight is limited to like tackleable heights. Like you can't just like get the ball and like soar above the stadium. That kind of cover like the base rules.
Yeah, we got 3 coaches as well from the professor profession in the Pokemon.
Mine's gonna be a psychopath. I have like, if I get who I want,
I got a few. I'm
gonna have a weird coaching staff.
And then we have the Ditto clause.
Oh, I think we visit that if Ditto gets picked. I don't know if he's on your board. You don't know if he's on my board. Okay. People gotta wait for that. It'd be funny if neither one of us did that and we just teased that for nothing.
It'd be like that. That's for the comments. Yeah, and then in terms of when you draft, we'll do snake draft. So someone will draft first, someone will draft second, and then the person who drafts second will then draft first for the second round. So in our case, there's 2 people. It's going to be 1, 2, 2 for the entire draft until we're done. And then we will be determining that with a Pokemon Showdown Ranbat, I believe, for the most recent generation.
Yeah, let's do that right now. We're gonna probably just jump to whenever that is settled. But if something interesting happens, maybe you'll get some highlights.
That you can fit like bread into a different name. I feel like easier.
Yeah,
Labradoodle.
It's also not a dachshund.
That's true. I think I like Labradoodle.
Labradoodle. I went to Trader Joe's and they were talking about the face on screen there, and the person there was like, I look like I'm 25, but I'm actually in my late 30s. And she did look like she was 25. I don't know like what kind of advertising ploy that was, but like I bought it. It was pretty good. I still use it every day. And I look like I'm 25, but I'm actually 24. So
no, you have magic bounce. I just forgot. Really rough.
I didn't actually know magic bounce did that though, so win some, lose some.
I think there's a correct play here. Oh, he just eat. So that was worth it. That was worth it. I knew he was gonna eat the spikes. No.
The gold! Alright, don't miss. Nice.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know what else. Okay, that happened.
Alright, good game.
Five different pieces of spikes.
That was kind of crazy. I won, so I get the first pick in the draft.
Or you can opt for second. You can opt.
Yeah,
for
so
second.
Here's the funny thing: is you just offered me first before we started recording, and I said we should battle for it. I wanted first anyway. So really, it didn't.
That's
it
messed
didn't
up.
really matter to me. All right, so I got first pick on the board here. I'm gonna be honest. This is gonna be controversial, maybe, but I feel like I need my like Jadavian Clowney kind of guy.
Okay. Okay.
So off the board is just like a disruptor on the line. That's going to be Incineroar.
So you're where are
He's
you
at
putting
defensive end. He's
That's
murdering the quarterback. Have you like like the one clip of Jadavian Clowney like actually assassinating a running back in college? That's Incineroar every play.
Yeah.
He's doing that crazy smash bros thing where he just like jumps in the air and just like launches himself. This man is a dog.
That's crazy. I had Incineroar as my middle linebacker, my starting middle linebacker.
He's good anywhere in the front seven. That's the thing, is he's going to be like, when you have some of those like Hall of Fame type like defensive linemen who shift to linebacker and continue to play at an all-pro level, this man can go anywhere. This is the best. I've determined he is the best front seven member available. It's not getting better.
I think I could fairly agree with that. I think there's a few sleepers.
Oh, there's certainly a lot, but I'm getting he's my defensive general.
So you're talking about yours being potentially controversial. I'm throwing controversy out the water. I'm drafting a kicker first. I'm taking Hitmonlee first overall for my team.
That's smart, because there's nobody better.
There's no better kicker in the history of the game. If it's a 70-yard field goal, he could coil up his leg and just let that thing go. And now it gets interesting, right? I'm leaning into the special teams.
You're gonna take my other kicker?
How I'm playing. So no, I won't take your other kicker yet. Because I think I do. Actually, you know what? I might. I'm taking punter. I'm taking Cinderace.
Fuck!
I think Cinderace is actually the only available punter in the entire game.
That's the only two options.
You can find other kickers.
My kicker is going to be weak. I'm gonna be a 2-point conversion every play kind of team.
Yeah, I am going to win games by getting 3 points. I cover the entire field. If I even get to the 50-yard line, Hitmonlee's sinking a 70-yarder, and if I'm behind the 50, I'm pinning you within 5.
If you're in Denver, if you're in Pokemon Denver, forget about it.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, where are you? Vicious. Are you playing at like Snow Point City or something? That's like an 80-yarder, dude.
It's vicious. All right, well, I have to recover here. And this is kind of my Taysom Hill pick, and this is the guy who I think is the most exemplary of he's gonna move around to 8 times in the draft.
Okay,
but let's call him a quarterback for now, because I think he has the strength for it, and that's gonna be Buzzwole.
I think I know who it is. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's gonna be Buzzwole.
So we're slotting him in at QB.
That's an absolute unit. I think the biggest weakness that he has is his legs are actual toothpicks, and I'm thinking he could ultimately go at tight end or wide receiver, because he's gonna have that slick toe touch. But Jesus Christ, he is body goals. I mean, outside of the toothpick legs.
Yeah, that kind of do be body goals for a lot of men out there.
I guess I've been running. Maybe I'll get there. Then we're gonna keep adding to the offense here, and we're gonna take Rampardos at halfback. This is a beast. This is a beast of a man. We're looking like a Derrick Henry type. He's gonna get 3 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards. He's gonna chip away. And then he's just going to break it, because, there's no stopping this man. Once he gets into open field, he's just going to barrel through everyone.
So you have him as a Derrick Henry, slow to get started, but if he's started, he's gone. Will always, yards after contact type of guy.
Oh, big yards after contact. He's breaking through that line. head down. You see his head;
Okay.
it's literally rocks. He doesn't need a helmet. Do any of them need helmets?
Do
Do we have player
maybe.
safety?
I don't know. Some of them have. I don't know, man. Colin, I don't know. Who would Roger Goodell be? Like Nurse Joy?
That wouldn't be right. No, she cares too much about health and
She
safety.
care. What do you got? Like
The police.
what's the officer?
I don't
Officer
know.
Jenny?
Yeah, probably.
That dude with a gun in the random episode of like season 1. We have been on very different wavelengths. I had Buzzwole as my outside linebacker, almost like a Lawrence Timmons type.
Okay, I could see that. I honestly, I think Buzzwole is the player that I had in the most positions.
Okay.
What
Rampardos
can't
for
this man
me
do? Yeah,
was a Mike Tolbert fullback halfback hybrid. In
I could
my
see
mind.
that. He's a plotter.
Yeah. All right, so now I got 2 picks. So I genuinely think the best all-around talent on offense has to be Machamp, right?
Yeah.
He got 4 arms.
Easily.
I'm taking him. But I think the oversight is you think because he has 4 arms, you can play him at quarterback, right? I don't think that's maximum value. I'm putting him at tight end. He is my Travis Kelce. He can block 2 people at once on the end. You set him out. You do 1 tight end set.
yeah.
He's doing the work of 2 tight ends.
No, he's
catching anything.
Yeah.
So I'm
He
taking
could imagine the stiff arm wall catching potential. I mean, you got to look out for OPI, but
that's what I was looking at. And leaning with the 4 arms. I guess 5 in this case. I'm taking Hoopa Unbound at QB.
No!
Hoopa Unbound at QB.
I didn't think.
The GOAT QB. The GOAT QB.
God.
He has 5 hands. He is a pocket passer who can deflect 3 men coming at him at once and still get the pass out. He has hands like up here, right here. He's never missing a pass. Never missing a snap. You could have a terrible center lined up, and it's never going to be a fumble. He could always do fakes. You got deeks. I think he could just send hands in and out. Like, Statue of Liberty plays are going crazy.
I do have concerns about his Statue of Liberty-ness. I do think he's a little slow. I do think his arm strength might actually be a little bit weak. That said, just the stature, just the imposition in the pocket, that's going to be dangerous. I actually had him as a potential wideout in kind of like the reception type receiver vein, or like a tight end. Like a plotter again, but like, how are you guarding that? Like, you're taking him down, but like, he's getting 8 yards every time he catches the ball.
I almost just typed Kelce for when I was putting in the champ because the similarities are uncanny.
Yeah, that's a Kelce. And the thing with Machamp is he also could be Jason. Because could you imagine snapping the ball with 2 hands while already ready to block with the upper 2?
Yep.
That's crazy. Yeah,
there's flexibility on my side. I have
back-to-back kills me a little bit.
I got 9 hands among 2 players, so
that you do. All right. Yeah, we're gonna have to make it work. How do I want to go about this? My O-line is a fucking it's weird. It's gonna get weird. It's gonna get weirder before it gets normaler. So we're gonna hold off on that for a minute. But I think you have any wideouts yet?
No, I've not drafted a wideout. Yep.
I think I'm gonna go ditto on defense in the defense as a cornerback right now.
That's okay. I actually respect that because I mean, I think you got to share the rule first. But when I was thinking about how to apply Ditto, I think that was the only role I thought it made sense.
Yeah. So for the audience, Ditto is the only Pokemon that can like kind of use an ability. It's transform ability, but it can only transform into whoever it's lined up against. So it kind of caps out as being as good as its like opposition. But like I need a way to neutralize like Machamp. So like he might even slide over to safety at some point. He's gonna be a neutralizing factor all over the field. Not necessarily like a star playmaker, but definitely a way to overcome some weaknesses. So that's gonna be my first pick off the board. We're struggling now because the thing is, I think those are some of my higher picks for other cornerback. I think I'm gonna go with Zoroark. He's a trickster. He's gonna have some good like dropbacks where the quarterback thinks he's not gonna get there in time. He's gonna bait a lot of passes, and he's fast. He has hands. You know how hard it is to have hands in this game? That was such a limiting factor for receiver.
Yeah. So are we looking at what's your comp here? Are we looking at almost like are we just cornerback, or are we looking at like an Ed Reed free safety?
I'm thinking he's shadowing someone. I think that's kind of his specialty is really like but more of like a playmaking corner, like not like a Revis type, but more like a like a Charles Woodson. I guess
Yep.
Charles
Okay.
Woodson also plays safety.
Yeah, but I think you're looking for that hybrid.
Yeah,
The quarterback seeing ghost because he could be anywhere
yeah.
from 5 yards out to 20 yards
And
back.
he will just blow a coverage once a year. Like, there'll be an ugly play, and you'd be like, is he not good anymore? Is he cooked? But overall, he's finishing every year with 6 picks and just all pro coverage.
That's a great pick. I had him as my free safety. He was my Ed Reed. He's scary in terms of where he can appear, where he cannot appear. A lot of deeks. I'm thinking like Peyton Manning versus Ed Reed type of player.
That's what we're looking at. All right, you're on the board.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm not really fearful, but I think I do need to start getting some of these wide receivers out here, and I think I want to take Greninja first.
I don't know why out. He's such a slot guy.
Yeah, slot guy. And with my next pick right here in the form of Walking Wake, I am doing a gadget offense. He doesn't even know who Walking Wake is.
Who is new.
Look at his stance. All right, we're pulling this up. You gotta look at the stance. My man is already crouched down, ready to get that ball and run. Look him up. Google him.
Walking Wake. Is he new?
Walking Wake.
I've seen this guy.
He is patient in his stance, and those legs can churn.
Okay, where are you putting him?
He gets going quick. He's running back. He's my starting running back.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
It's literally in the name, Walking Wake. He's Le'Veon Bell. He's peak Le'Veon Bell. He has the patience.
You think he has reception potential? I mean, he has 3 fingers on both hands.
Oh, I'm just talking about behind the line Le'Veon Bell. Like, my dude's shifty. He got a lot of weight in the hamstrings. Okay. He got lateral movement.
No, I see him. I see the vision.
Yeah. Because I do agree that Hoopa Unbound version might not have the strongest arm, but I don't need a strong arm when all I need to do is gain 20 yards and we're already in field goal range. I'm going for game manager, making sure you have control of the ball, and I'm going gadget in the form of Greninja and Walking Wake.
I'm like sufficiently scared of what's going on offense, and I think I need like a real disruptor. I mean, we already have Incineroar on one end, and he's a monster. We're putting Primeape on the opposite side of that line. That man is like, Primeape's whole thing is being like rage embodied. He's a monster. He's great at what he does, but he's going to draw so many penalties. He's going to get so many fines. He's like Vontez Perfect. Vontez Perfect is like a tone setter on defense, but God, is he insufferable to watch when he's getting like 15-yard penalties for your team. But we gotta rough up Hoopa because I don't know. He needs to just take body shots all game.
And this is interesting because I think something that plays into that is I am now going to take... Oh, are you good? Is that it?
No, I think I have another one.
You have one more. Oh, good. I almost leaked.
Yeah. I need a receiver. That's the thing. I'm going to run out of like pass catching options. I'm going to just take Blaziken.
That was my true wide receiver one. I think he's like the DK Metcalf.
Mm-hmm. Not necessarily ever the number one guy in the league, but like he's always putting up 1,200 yards and like 8 touchdowns. I mean, we're just looking at good play.
I kind of think tying in with your 2 DNs are the most problematic people on the field and off the field, and they're going to get a lot of personal fouls. They need good fundamental coaching. I'm taking Professor Oak
as your head coach.
I think you need Professor Oak as a head coach to manage those folks, and I don't think among the available, I don't think an Elm could do it. I don't think a Birch can do it. I don't think it's going to happen.
Elm certainly can't do it. Yeah, don't even worry. Don't even worry about the coaching situation.
I'm taking the GOAT. I'm taking Professor Oak. I mean, he's the one who started it all. I don't think there's any questioning his tactics, any questioning his strategy. He could build a winning team.
No, he's classic. I mean, he's the John Madden of Pokemon professors.
Little John Madden. I think he got a little bit of Belichick. I think he has he has a lot of camps, right? I mean, there are people who are part of the Oak camp that have gone on to be great professors. The similarities are uncanny.
Yeah.
And now I think I do agree that our wide receiver talent pool is dwindling. I have to take Infernape.
It's another one of
There's
my
not enough
guys.
left. Yeah, there's not enough left.
You're a
I have
little
to take
undersized
McKinnon.
at receiver, but you're fast and you got good hands. That's the thing.
I'm undersized at wide receiver, but I have Machamp to take over in the tight end slot.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of like a Welker Gronk situation, or like an Edelman Gronk. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I think I'm continuing with this kind of front seven onslaught. Like, I really think one of the best ways to get to this offense is going to be like just hitting the quarterback, just getting there, taking away time in the pocket. So we're going to go with Darmanitan, an outside linebacker. Rage embodied, fast, not great in coverage. Not great in coverage, we're going to be honest. Which is why we're also going to draft another linebacker for Alligator, who's just an alligator, but bipedal, which I see as just a good, well-rounded linebacker option. I might shift him to the middle. But he's got good hands. He's going to be good in coverage. He's going to be able to apply pressure. That's just fundamentally good football.
Yeah, I had for Alligators he was probably my second outside linebacker pick.
You could see him getting down on all fours and then kind of getting up for the tackle.
Like, he just got length. He's a pass deflector. I think he's a run stopper, but if you send him in on a blitz, I think he's getting some pass deflections.
Yeah, he's not flashy, but he's kind of like the CJ Mosley school of just like fundamental football.
Yeah, I think I'm comfortable building my defense right now. I think it needs a captain, and I'm taking Obstagoon at middle linebacker.
Oh, that's a decent one.
I think the comp is just Brian Urlacher. I think he's just Urlacher. He has the character, has the stance.
He's got some
flashy plays, but is an unflashy man. Yeah, I like it. So Obstagoon, middle linebacker, captain of the squad, can cover a lot.
I don't think he was on my board. I wasn't really looking close enough at some of the newer ones.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential out of the last couple generations.
Yeah,
and leaning in with that, taking my one of my first outside linebackers is Okidogi. The newest legendary from the DLC. My man is literally a gorilla. Yeah, my man is a wide. My man, you can't, like, he's just a run stopper. You can't do anything about it. He does lack the height that a Feraligatr brings, but I think I'm only going to bring him in run sets and set him to rush. I don't think he's covering, so I don't think it's that much of an issue.
It might be time for my my linchpin of my offensive line, and that is going to be, we're going to put Barbarical at center. And I kind of teased that pick earlier with the Machamp thing, but he's got a lot of hands, and I think having a center who's already in blocking position while snapping the ball, that's vicious. He has claw hands. They look like this, so his catching ability. Otherwise, he'd be my tight end.
Yeah, I had him. He's on my center board right now, and I intentionally said nothing on your comment because I had him in backup in case you took my first overall center.
And then I'm still not sure if I'm running a 3-4 or a 4-3, but I think I'm going to go take the guy who I think is just going to be vicious on the interior, and that is I think it's Hisui and Avalug.
Oh my god.
This is literally just a Zamboni. It's just a glacier with like skates on the bottom. I don't even know what it is. But how are you stopping that? Who is stopping that?
I think because I think you're going to start leaning into the O-line, I do need to take my center because he might be one of the best O-linemen. Hariyama is my best center in the draft.
He's good.
I think he's the perfect matchup against any type of nose tackle. And I think if you're running a 3-4, he can honestly take on your two interior linemen at once.
Interesting.
He's going to be in a 2-point stance, bend down, one hand's already going to be forward, and then he's snapping the ball. And again, the snap does not need to be accurate because I have Hoopa with 5 hands behind him.
That's a really good point with the Hoopa. It can go anywhere. You don't even really need hands to snap the ball to that guy.
Yeah, so I'm taking him way more for his interior lineman blocking prowess because he can make up the work of any of my guards. I don't think any of us have decided what type of offense we're running. I don't think we've shown enough. You've kind of shown that.
I've got no plan.
Maybe it is time for me to start building that interior. And I think I'm going to go Snorlax at DT.
Snorlax? I don't think you're going to
dude is a nose tackle. No, because
Dude has no motor.
he doesn't need the motor. He's Big Snack. He's Casey Hampton, and he is a coach that can coach
Snack's
him through.
got a motor. Casey Hampton has a motor. Do you know how much motor you need to overcome his size?
But I don't think you need to overcome the size when the opponent's center is just what is it? Bar back roll? I don't even know what to say.
I could shift them
Snorlax
around.
Plowing through him. Snorlax can just roll,
around.
dude. Well, no one can match up against Snorlax. No one can match up against him, and I have
all
the best
Snorlax
coach in history to motivate him.
All Snorlax is doing is stopping the run. That's all he's doing. I think
that's all he needs to do. He's never going to break the line. He doesn't need to break the line.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with letting Rampardos wear him down. I'm going to draft my coach now because I'm afraid you might take him as a coordinator to just get him off the board.
I think there are sleeper picks here.
You said that I can't get a coach to control my like penalty drawing defensive lineman. But I kind of going, I'm not looking for like a good noble coach. I'm looking for like the Bill Belichick school of like will cut a player if they make a bad play. So we're gonna go with the new one, Turo.
Okay.
He's a psychopath. He like abandoned his son for work. That's Belichick moves. He's got like crazy coach vibes. And I think that's kind of what we need. I think we need someone who's like, he's gonna go to the media and be like really quiet and angry. And then he's gonna like cut someone because they like fumbled the ball once. Like Rampardos is probably not even gonna make it through the season. But we're gonna need to pair that with somebody who's like capable of bringing the team together. So I'm gonna go with like the Mike McDaniel pick here, and I'm gonna take for my offensive coordinator Kukui.
Kukui's a good one.
Yeah.
I had him as my offensive coordinator.
Bulbapedia describes him as being a moves expert. I mean, that screams offense. He's also very positive. Like he's a big like motivator. And I think we're going to need that because I think Turo's going to like really break down some of the players and Kukui will be there to like build them back up.
Yeah, Kukui's that coach that literally gets involved during practices and is like playing during 77s. He's in there. Yeah. He takes hits from Pokemon to learn about how they do their move. Like, dude's taking Z attacks for fun.
Yeah, he's a former player.
He's a
Mike
grinder.
Vrabel school of
Yeah. Very good pick. Very good pick. I was looking at that one. And you're slotting him at OC or DC?
Offensive coordinator.
Okay. I agree with that entirely. I think I'm going to be taking Exploud in the interior line position as well. I think he is the high motor, high energy component that brings up Snorlax when he's like on the run defense. On the pass defense, he's doing nothing. Exploud's breaking through interior linemen and getting to the quarterback.
Exploud is also the guy who you see on like they'll do the interviews with all the other players and they'll be like, which defender do you hate the most? Because Exploud is always talking shit. Like you're like on the O-line and this guy does not stop like just screaming at you. I think he really gets to the O-lineman. I think he's I think he's kind of the opposite of Primeape in some ways. I think Exploud is good at drawing penalties because he really just riles up the offense.
Yeah, he's like who was it? Was Dion the one who used to get the wide receiver? He was covering girlfriend's phone numbers or something.
Yeah, I think it was Dion.
Like Exploud gets under the skin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like that pick.
I think I want to take Reggie Rock as my defensive end.
Ooh, he's slow though.
I have a comp here. I am thinking JPP, just prime JPP with no hands. I think of him as the outside line. Yeah, the outside linebacker, that defensive end gets a finger jammed in a face mask, like you're playing against peak. Justin Tuck? You get inside the grill, it's just gone. You tape that thing up. He got club hands. I think he's a defensive end. You could slot him to outside linebacker in a hybrid set against like heavy run stop, but I think he's looking good at defensive end. He is slower. That is totally true, but he is like the highest motor once he gets going. You can't stop him, and it's the club hands, dude. It's just imagery.
I didn't think I was going to do this, but I'm looking at your defense, and I think it's slow, and I think that's a weakness. So I'm going to draft a second halfback, and we're going to go with Zeraora. I think that's how it's pronounced. I hate his design.
I don't know who this is.
He's like a thunder cat.
Pull up an image. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, it's like the tiger thing.
Yeah, it's like a weird. It kind of looks like a furry. I'm gonna be 1,000% honest. But he's fast and he's small and he's shifty. And I think I need that because the thing is, like, I like Rampardos to like wear y'all down. But I mean, like, I need someone fast who could just, like, cut on the outside because you have a slow defensive line. But you have a defensive line that might not get worn down that easily. I might have to go a little crazy here and controversial even. I think we're going to move Buzzwole to tight end. And we're going to go with a heady quarterback, a tall one in stature, slippery, smart, very smart. But hands are the only drawback here. Is they're not conducive to throwing the football amazingly. That's going to be Mewtwo. I think we could overcome that. I think there's going to be some ducks. He's going to like occasionally just completely like whiff one. But I mean, that's the smartest quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I had Mewtwo as one of my top running back options because of the thighs.
He's
like,
got
his hamstrings
thighs.
are insane.
He's trunky. You know the video of Colin Cowherd talking about Sam Darnold?
Blue collar work ethic, big, trunky, arm, feet, coachable.
It's
like, that's him.
Yeah, that's how I was with Mewtwo as well. I do think the arms are the issue in that situation, so we probably might be seeing another switch for your side on offense there, but I think Mewtwo is a great asset on offense. I think I'm going to slot in Nidoking at left tackle.
Classic.
I mean, he's very classic. He's noble. He has very high internal drive.
Noble.
His ex like a Joe he's like a Joe Thomas comp, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a high comp.
I think that's the GOAT. I think he's the GOAT. He has king in his name, man.
But like Prince Amukamara was royalty, and he was just okay.
You got some. I think you have some questionable, very frail picks on your offense. I am going for my Darren Sharper Hisuian Arcanine at strong safety.
You have a very similar philosophy for strong safety as I do, it seems. You want to explain what makes this guy so dangerous out there? Why he's like the hardest hitting safety in the league?
Yeah, Darren Sharper, hardest hitting safety in the league. Get off me, Drew Brees. Hisuian Arcanine is just he's a pure muscle. He's just like prime James Harrison used to throw like 50-pound medicine balls. Like Hisuian Arcanine does that for fun. I mean, dude, if he's running at you, you're dead.
I also think I think Darren Sharper is a terrible person. Also, I saw that recently. I forget what he did, but it wasn't good. You know, in like old school football, when you see the clips and like an O lineman will be like, "We used to shit our pants in the O line to like gross out the defensive line."
Yes, sir.
So I think that's a strategy we're going to employ. So at left guard, we're going to put Garbodor, who is just garbage with hands. And that's just like, no one wants to get in there. Nobody wants to do that. It's upsetting. My offensive line doesn't like it either. And we're going to just stick with the interesting picks at offensive line here. There's a Pokemon famously who's difficult to pass that isn't Snorlax. That's going to be Sudowoodo. He's going to be a right guard.
Oh!
The interior is shored up. Alright, so factually, if you pour water on him, he does get easier to pass. So like as the game progresses, you get sweatier. I think he gets a little tougher, but he's a stalwart. He's not moving. He's rooted. My interior line is short up. We're missing literally the most important parts of the offensive line.
Yeah, and I think because of that, I now have to be leaning into it. I'm taking Mr. Mime for right tackle.
Interesting. I thought you were going to go Nidoqueen for right tackle, actually.
Nope, was not. So I will be taking Mr. Mime. I mean, dude is the best straight blocker in the entire league. And I think his downside is his size, but he has the speed to make up for it. And we're not looking at like an Osmelly situation where he's losing the weight and then loses the blocking. He has the blocking with the low weight. That's what it is. Only issue is I think my O-line might be a lot. We might be looking for switching. I think my right tackle and left tackle might be swapping out in and out a lot, depending on who I'm facing at each end, right? I don't know if your DNs are pure going to be right end or left end, or if they're, like a Myles Garrett can go on either side of the line.
They're going to be everywhere, and they're going to get ejected by like the third quarter. They're not even going to be in the game anymore.
Yeah, so I think I got to take Mr. Mime, and then I'm going to put Ursaring at right guard.
I like Ursaring. Ursaring could go anywhere too.
Yeah.
He's just a bear.
Interesting here for me on my draft board, Mr. Mime and Ursaring were actually underneath my tight ends, but I got Machamp, so I didn't have to use them there.
Yeah, Mr. Mime is kind of a cracked tight end too. He's going to set some monstrous blocks on screen passes. Okay, I think I want my hard-hitting safety as well. We're going to go with Mudsdale at strong safety. That's just a horse.
He has
Just
horsepower.
literally is just a horse.
Yeah.
Like, if you put a horse that could headhunt onto the NFL field, that'd be awesome. We both are just, we have just large animals laying waste. They can't even catch. They're just there to hit. And I also want, in the defensive backs, and this might actually mean Zoroark shifts around to the free safety position. I think I'm going to do that. I want Hitmonchan with the peanut punch.
Oh my gosh.
For those unfamiliar, Peanut Tillman of the Bears used to have a move called the Peanut Punch, where he would just punch the ball and like it would like get knocked out. And who better to do that than the punching Pokemon?
I think it's time for me to take my edge / other D end, and I'm taking Dragonite.
I want a Dragonite at tackle.
Yeah, Dragonite might actually be one of the most flexible players in this draft, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him at receiver, but I do think he can go tight end, O-line, D-line, or maybe even linebacker.
And I will be taking Nidoqueen at left guard.
The synergy.
They need to be together. And that's why I didn't want to really leak anything when you said not putting them at right tackle. I think I need her at guard right next to her husband.
Okay, let's go. God, am I going to have to take the receiver that I really didn't want to take? I just don't trust them. That's the thing. I don't have to do it. I think I'm going to take Ambipom. It's my wide receiver too.
Oh, no. Okay, this is fine.
You have him somewhere, I'm assuming?
I'm somewhere very valuable.
Is he going to be like your holder?
Uh-huh.
He's got hands, and he's probably got speed, but he's not very big, and I also can see him being like a drop ball candidate. Now I want to tackle, and I think I'm going to go with Koffagrigus at left tackle.
He got hands.
He's got hands. He's fairly quick and large, large enough. He's got hands. He's got big hands. I think he's slowing down the defensive end enough.
He's dense and he got hands.
Oh, just like me.
Yes, sir. And now that the holders are down, I did have a backup holder. Ambipom was clearing away my favorite, but I think I have a very serviceable backup. I'm taking Octillery. Already low to the ground, has suction cups, will never mishandle the snap.
Well, he doesn't have hands.
He doesn't have hands. He has suction cups.
How is he going to handle a high snap, though?
You just got to hope he can handle it, brother.
Are you not afraid also that the ball gets stuck to, he'll also go with the ball?
I don't care if he goes with the ball because Hitmonlee is so powerful that if Octillery's still going with it, you're getting yards. It's still flying.
Yeah, but it could affect the trajectory.
Yeah, but
you could get a doink.
I could get a doink, but the doink. So they might have to instill some rules. That could be a season 1 type thing where maybe Octillery swings on the doink, swings it in, and it's you get a PAT because he's just throwing that thing in from 50 yards away. I'm a special teams guy.
I can see that.
And I think with that as well, I'm going to be taking Cyclizar as my return man.
I like Cyclizar, but that's an interesting pick. I think you know why I'm confused why you went with Cyclizar.
Oh, because you're talking about you're going to take the evolved form.
And I might. And there's 2 options there, so I'm not even panicking.
No, I think Cyclizar fits way better in the return spot because of the size. I think either one of his older brothers a little bit too large to be in that return specialist.
For right tackle, I'm looking for a guy who's going to be a wall. So I'm going to pick the actual wall Pokemon. I don't even remember his name. Statica?
Yeah, Statica or whatever it is.
Yeah, if you're unfamiliar, it's just a wall with legs. And also has a hollow underside, and I think he could just trap a defensive lineman. If he gets beat, he just falls on him.
I think that might be holding, but we'll see how that goes.
I think we pair up another classic in that interior linebacker kind of area. We go with Typhlosion.
All right, so what am I looking at? I'm missing... This is where the scarcity of resources comes in, where I could see what you need and draft accordingly.
Yeah.
But I think he could still be drafted here. So I think I'm going to take Rillaboom as my other outside linebacker. And I really got that, I got that primate synergy going on here. I got a gorilla and I got a monkey as my 2 outside linebackers.
That's stereotyping. I mean, we got 11 people on a defense in real life. They don't all get along. They're all
that's
people.
true. Yeah, I don't know. Something about bananas, man.
Dude. That's fucked up.
I'm taking Grap Locked as a defensive back.
It's fucked. I wanted him.
I believe he is the only octopus / cephalopod type that has feet to walk on. I think that is the case.
It does have feet. I mean, it's Clobopus, but Clobopus is very small.
Yeah, so taking Graplocked as my one of my DBs.
You remember those old Denny's commercials that were like, guess what? It's Nannerpuss, and I like pancakes. You remember those?
Yeah.
That's a classic.
It is a classic. What was it about? Head on. Apply directly to the forehead.
Directly to the forehead. Head on.
What was that about, man?
No one knows what head on was.
I was on TV for like 5 years.
Those always scared me as a kid because they're like all the sound would cut out and it would just be like, head on. Apply directly to the forehead.
But it reads like one of those like radio ads where they're trying to sell you something that you shouldn't be looking up because the entire commercial is just saying head on, apply directly to the forehead like 10 times.
I'm not even gonna look it up. I don't want to know. I don't think we should know. I don't think anyone should know.
No. All right. Floor is yours.
Well, you remember my thing about remember how I said Garbodor would be like kind of the gross out offensive lineman, like nobody wants to like get on that.
Mm-hmm. I think I know where you're leading.
Let's throw Licky in the interior defensive line.
I thought you were gonna go for Galarian Muck. He could be able to slide through the interior lineman to get to the quarterback.
I just think that the slipperiness is not going to stop the trophy of a man that is Hoopa Unbound.
Yeah,
I mean, he doesn't even need to move. There's no footwork going on, so I don't even think like the slipperiness is going to help.
Yeah,
I'll take a defensive coordinator, I guess, before you do. This might be a controversial one, or it might be me. I don't know. I'm thinking Juniper. From Gen 5, from Black and White.
This is great for me. My entire coaching tree is available.
She's just smart. She's just like a smart... I think we've got the motivator in Kukui. We've got the scary head coach in Turo. We just need someone who like understands the playbook for defensive coordinator. We don't need to get too fancy. And I think that's what Juniper brings to the table. I gotta say, if you draft Rowan just preemptively, he's giving me like, how is he still in the coaching cycle vibes? Like he's the coach that like keeps getting jobs because like all the coaches are friends with him. But like, what is he? He's old. He's old. He's a Vic Fangio.
I had Rowan as like a third string if I needed, and I think he really only slots in as a head coach. I don't think he slots in as a coordinator. So I'm not taking Rowan. I did have him on my board though. I will be clear about that. I think I'm taking Tangrowth at right tackle and flexing Mr. Mime into my flex. And Mr. Mime will be a tight end flex for me. I think I'm going to run a 2 tight end set where both of my tight ends are superb at blocking and also route catching. What am I looking at here? I have all of my... I guess I just should take my long snapper because you only have special teams left.
Yeah.
I'm taking Rhyperior. He could shoot that thing back.
Oh. No guy, yeah.
I think he perfectly encapsulates long snapping. He's not going to get run over afterwards too, but he could put all of his attention into getting that snap. And with the team that I have here, Octillery can grab a snap at any speed, and we can intentionally have Rhyperior blast that snap back like 15 yards because added yardage really doesn't matter for Hitmonlee if we're past the 50-yard line. If we're in the enemy's territory, we can shoot it back like 10, 15 yards for sure, and we'll be fine. We'll get there before the rush is there.
We're going to go with someone who is going to get just killed immediately, but someone who's so iconic in the 3-point stance that I can't help but give him the chance to snap the ball. You wanna guess who I'm going to say?
Well, I would hope it would be Pissimian because dude is 3-point standing on a coconut.
No, that'd be better. I'm going to go with Tyrogue.
Oh, okay. This is where, I mean, we're going to put this picture up in post. But yeah, I had Tyrogue as my sleeper quarterback because he's in Jalen Hurts' stance. He was also
on my quarterbacks list. He's so small, though.
Yeah.
Like, he's so, like, lanky and small. Like, he'd probably just get murdered. But, like, man,
Yeah,
he knows how to... He handles the football. This man's never fumbling.
And he's all about
he's gonna get
work ethic. He's a Gruden grinder. He's first one in, last one out.
He's the kind of guy who energizes the team, even though he is just the long snapper.
Mm-hmm.
And on that note, my holder is going to be maybe a bit of a psychopathic pick, and one who could be dangerous for me. But it's really a morale pick at the end of the day, and that's going to be Victini, the victory Pokemon. It's kind of just a small mouse with like questionable hand skills, but he's a born winner. And like, where else are you going to put him? He can't go anywhere else.
I think I like Victini as well because traditionally the holders are the backup quarterbacks. I think Victini's your quarterback too because they come in for the victory formation. Victini takes the kneel down.
Good. It's not going to be good if Victini ever needs to start a game.
Oh, that's
like Blaine Gabbert being like the clipboard holder for like Patrick Mahomes. Like the Chiefs just know they're done if Blaine Gabbert ever needs to start. But he's good. Like he's good in the locker room.
I think I'm taking Garchomp as my free safety. I think he's the fastest defensive back for his size.
Yeah, I'll get to that.
It'll be Naruto running all over the field.
No hands, though. No hands.
And I think I'm fine with that. I think I'm fine with having like a Champ Bailey-esque. He ain't going to catch the ball, but he'll deflect them all.
Okay. No, I don't think it's a bad pick. I understand what you're going for here. He's definitely going to lay out some nasty hits. Good awareness.
Yeah, and this one might be left up for the jury here, but I'm interested in putting Palafin at my cornerback, and he turns into hero form once he's beat.
Okay, see, I actually almost had him as a quarterback. That's interesting you ask. I would say that feels I would say that feels fair. If you think that hero form Palafin can make up for getting cooked at the beginning of every route, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah, maybe I don't want that.
I don't know
then.
if he can.
Yeah, maybe I don't want that then. Maybe I had another sleeper here. I'm going because Grapploct is that lockdown cornerback, doesn't have a lot of the speed. I'm taking Galarian Zapdos as the fastest DB in the entire game.
Yeah, no hands again.
No hands. I don't want turnovers.
Not a lot of turnover potential on your team.
Yeah. My turnover potential is Hisuian Arcanine. I guess
fumbles.
It's Hisuian Arcanine causing fumbles, and it's Grapploct being there to snag a ball.
Yeah, Grapploct is going to make some plays.
Yeah, but I'm taking Galarian Zapdos.
Just give me Machoke for punter. I don't know. He's got hands.
That's not bad, actually.
He's got hands and he's got thick thighs. He'll be fine. I feel like he'd be a good accurate punter, but maybe just not providing the distance. But he could probably make some good. You know what they say is I'd rather have a punter who can punt it 30 accurately than a 70 inaccurately.
So I have a lifeline for you if you want help on kicker.
No, I think you should tell me afterward, and then I'll be really upset about it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do the return man. Which one is which motorcycle is the red one? Is it Corradon?
That sounds correct.
It's a motorcycle with hands, and to me, that's good enough to be a kickoff returner. I almost went Rayquaza for that, but Rayquaza feels like he'd muff everything and then draw a flag.
All right, so now all I have left is my OC and my DC, right? I'm taking Professor Elm as my offensive coordinator. Was Professor Oak's top student, is part of the coaching tree, and I think he's a McDaniels type where he does the basics but adds in components that teams aren't ready for. I think he's going to utilize the hell out of Mr. Mime. Like, I think this 2 tight end set is going to go crazy.
Your evaluation of him is a little different than what I would have thought. See, I see him as more of a development type coach. They talk about how he's the breeder professor, which like I don't like applying that to like football. But like he's good with the youngins. Like he's good at like developing talent, but he doesn't have a lot of confidence, it seems to me.
Yeah,
his picture is him just spilling shit on the ground.
That's why he's underneath Oak. He has to be with his mentor to have production. And I think
Okay, I
that's
could
true.
see him getting the head coaching job at another team, and then kind of awful.
I agree with that
Josh
entirely.
McDaniels.
Elm would never be my head coach. And now we're in an interesting part here where I'm not taking Rowan no matter what. I have two candidates left. I have Sonia. She studies history mainly, is literally an old head, studies the way the game was, can tell you the about the advent of the long snapper and how that formed. And now I'm with Gary Oak, another studier of the history. Yeah, very big into history. I mean, he revived Aerodactyl by himself, really into the past. You're not going to get anything past him. He'll have all the dirt on you. And I think because of that, Gary Oak slotting is my defensive coordinator. I think
a little bit of Nepo, though.
A little bit of Nepo, and I think I'm fine with that. I really am.
Okay.
He was my sleeper head coach pick, actually, if you took Oak.
Yeah, I see that. I see the potential there. I appreciate that. And that just leaves me with what? What do I have left? Kicker?
Just the most important part of your special teams.
God, I don't even have someone down. Who do I have on this list that I think could kick? Which one of you has appendages necessary to kick? I'll go with Lucario. Feels like he'd be accurate. Okay. Feels like he'd be pretty strong, but feels like he'd be unexciting. He's not nailing down the Justin Tucker 60-yarders, but he's not blowing games either.
I had a few things. So if I were to swap, I think I might like Mewtwo as your kicker, and you just make Machoke be a game manager quarterback.
Yeah, I could see the potential there.
Machoke kind of got like a Big Ben build, I think. That's his comp. But the secondary kicker I had, which I don't think meshes well with who you put as holder, is Tinkaton. I think Tinkaton paired with a good holder and a good long snapper, you're just golfing away. Yeah.
That's fun. I like that. And Tinkaton is famously accurate. I think that's the whole thing.
Snipes can snipe Corviknights out of the sky.
Yeah. Wow. That would have been a good one. All right. How are we feeling? How are we feeling here? See, I'm looking at your team and I'm seeing just like a lot of skill position offensive firepower. I feel like my speed on the D line could be dangerous for your O line though.
Yeah.
I've got some dogs.
But my outlook is I think I have a almost unstoppable O-line, and all I need is 3 yards of play, and I only need to get 25 yards. I'm never returning a kick on kickoff. I'm starting at the 25-yard line. If I get to the 50-yard line, I'm kicking a field goal. I'm winning on 3 points.
Him only is a pick.
Yeah.
I really need some big plays. I need some big plays out of my backs. I need some big plays out of my receivers. It's a little,
like Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry and the former Rampardos. I think you got little Gronkowski and Buzzwole. You're going to have a couple 100-yard games this season.
Yeah, no, there's going to be some big plays. And I
think Blaziken can burn you. But yeah, I think while I was making my roster, I had a few honorable mentions I wanted to shout out that didn't really fit into the grand scheme of things. I think Spoink as a special teams blocker would be insane. Dude could jump up.
He just gets a hit with the ball.
Yeah, take a ball to the face, block a field goal. Like
that's
going
CTE
crazy.
Central.
Yeah. Knocks his pearl out and he dies on the field. But
that's a hero. I mean, you use him at the most important time in the game.
Yeah, and then speaking with, I was talking about like my Statue of Liberty with Hoopa. Some trick plays on fake punts and fake field goals with football-shaped Pokemon. I think you slot in a Kakuna, slot in a Metapod, slot in a Pupitar. There's going to be some confusion there where someone's carrying the Pupitar, gets tackled, someone's on the other side with the football, taking a first down.
I see that.
And then a sleeper pick I had for like a fullback position for a really good third down back is Mawile. Puts the ball in the mouth. It's the most secure ball security you have in the entire game. She's not.
That feels potentially illegal, but you didn't.
Yeah, I think it's another one of the tush push where after the first year of play, it might be like we gotta handle this.
That's too much. Yeah, because I feel like I thought about a similar thing with like Steelix and letting him gobble up the ball and then just like slither on the ground. But that felt overpowered. They should do that in the real NFL though. Someone should try that.
Yeah. Getting a
I only wrote down as an honorable mention Ludicolo cheerleader.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had a Ludicolo in my draft board as a tackle because of the giant hands. Yeah.
he does that.
I think very
he's
similar to
cheering
like
on.
a Swoodo in terms of like
I want like the Mirror B, like 8 Ludicolo's on the sideline just dancing around. They're having a great time.
I definitely
My fans are
agree with
gonna
that.
have fun even if we're getting murdered.
So I think you got Ludicolo as your mascot. I will take Plusle and mine as mine. I want them to be
That's
doing
fun.
the little dances.
Yeah. We were very cutesy mascots for just the absolute amount of carnage that we've explained on the field.
But yeah, I think that was a great draft from both sides. I think
I
had
think some good picks.
Some unbeatable strategy by taking all of special teams first.
Yeah, that fucked me. I was going to take them in the middle of the draft because I was thinking like it was fantasy football. But I was like, I got to take like Hitmonlee like mid rounds. I didn't even think about it. I didn't think about how scarce that position really is. But yeah, I feel like we've done what we set out to do here.
Yeah.
So
yeah, make sure to drop your takes. I think we're both 100% correct in everything we did. So
yeah, we always will be. But
yeah, there won't be much
if
to
you want
write
like
about.
the second most correct take.
Yeah, if you want more, say what you want. There's probably going to be a lot of this cross-pollination of sports and particularly Pokemon or video games or stuff like that. But just make sure to drop something down below.
Yeah, give us your Rex, ring that bell, massacre that subscribe button, slap that like button.
Yeah, social security number, mother's maiden name.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Tag yourself as your social security number in the comments.
If you type your account password with 2 asterisks before it and after it, it'll actually be hidden in the comments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for watching. Any parting words, Nikita?
No. Make sure you guys don't fall into a well.
Don't fall into a well.
This was The Well.